Hello and welcome back to another episode of Close Enough. We are joined today with a very, very special guest who I'm a bit starstruck about, to be honest with you. You may recognise her from the Traitors series 2. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the one and only Ash.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, Ash.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm glad that you asked me. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So if it's all right with you, we'll start kind of at the beginning. So what made you apply for the Traitors?
Are you familiar with a game called Werewolf?
Yes.
Or Mafia Werewolf. So when lockdown happened, as you know, as we all know, it was quite hard for a lot of people, especially when people didn't have connections with many other people. So my friend, he's big into games, and I'd played Werewolf in person before. So in his neighborhood, he started, and he lives down the road from me, but he started this Werewolf game on Zoom for his neighbors and some of his friends. And so every single Friday night, guaranteed, we would all play Werewolf, and there'd be anywhere between, and it wouldn't necessarily be the same people every week, but it would be between 10 to 18 people every single week. And it was absolutely brilliant, and it kind of really helped people get through that period of lockdown and stuff.
Wow.
And then Traitors started, and so we have this like werewolf group, right? And suddenly everyone's talking about this show called Traitors, and I'm like, what is this rubbish? I ain't watching it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then like a couple of months later, or maybe towards the end of series 1, I thought, okay, let's see what they're all going on about. And then I watched episode 1 and I was hooked. So for me, it was about the game. So like I applied in the February. So like at that point, Traitors wasn't even that big then, you know. For me, it was just, oh my goodness, this is real life Werewolf. How funny would it be if I applied? And I didn't apply to get on. I just applied because I thought it'd be fun to apply. So
definitely.
That's it. So what was the process like? So how long did it take from when you applied to actually anything happening? How long did that take?
Well, to be honest, for everybody, it's completely different, isn't it? Because, it just depends on when applications open and stuff. And for me, it was quite long because I think when we filmed a bit later in the year than they do normally. So it was a while.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Right, okay. So then when going forward to kind of the start of the filming of the show, what were your first initial thoughts about the game? Was it everything that you wanted it to be?
Well, to be honest, it was really, really surreal because, I mean, first of all, I couldn't believe that I'd been chosen. I was just like, what? Are you really? I'm not being chosen. What? Like, so... And then when you arrive and you see that castle, and I don't think the television really does it justice because it's even more grand, you know? So if you're ever up in Inverness, you must like try and drive by and have a look at it because it is spectacular, absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
Road trip.
Yeah. Inside and out.
I think they do open it to the public sometimes, so you might have to check into, because I think they have weddings there and stuff. So
I've seen that online actually.
Incredible.
So talking about the expectations, what was your biggest expectation going into it?
I had no expectations.
No,
I did not want to go in with expectations. Because when you're in a space with 21 other strangers, you don't know who those people are. You don't know how they're going to react. You don't know how they're going to be. You cannot go in with expectations because you just don't, you just don't know. And maybe that was partly my downfall. Maybe I should have had expectations, and maybe I should have had a plan, you know?
Yeah. Do you think that that is important to the game then, to have a game plan?
I mean, you can, but how do you know it's going to go to plan? Because you don't know who you're going to be with. I mean, if you look, it's so interesting, isn't it? Because we've 4 seasons now. And how many people is that? About 88, about 90 people. Yeah. And if you look at those personalities, everybody is so different. How can you possibly plan for that? No. You know?
Yeah.
I think that's one thing everyone thinks, isn't it? You're going to have some sort of plan, but you really don't know who you're going to be meeting. So when
this is you're absolutely right, and I think, you know, look at someone like Paul. I think Paul was a bit of an anomaly in that sense, right? Because he wanted to go in as this pantomime villain, and he played that role so well. And I genuinely think, you know, that was absolutely amazing. I think he did brilliant. You know, he really he got what he wanted. He almost achieved what he wanted, but he was personable, he was funny, he was great. We were all like, oh my God, Paul's awesome. And then here he is, Dr. Evil.
Yeah. Did you go in wanting to be a traitor?
Yeah, absolutely.
So absolutely. Then, how did it feel when you got selected as well?
Everyone wants to be a traitor.
Oh yeah, add the excitement.
For me, actually, the reason why I wanted to be a traitor, because I just thought it's the only way I'm going to last past one night. Because and I've played the Traitors live experience since, and I knew I made the right decision, because during the Traitors live experience, which if you don't know about it, it's in London, it's in Covent Garden, and I chose to be a faithful, and I was very vocal around that round table, and I was like going in hard, and I know that that's how I would have been in the castle had I been a faithful, and I would have been gone. They would have gotten rid of me straight away. So and that's why I wanted to be a traitor.
But also, I think that you've got much more control over your game as a traitor, because you can decide who you murder, whereas you can't control it if you're a traitor who gets banished, but you've got more of a say in how the game works out.
Definitely, to a certain degree, yeah, for sure.
So those decisions are like ridiculously difficult to make, like the who you're going to murder, who you're going to betray. Did you ever feel guilty about your decisions?
No.
No,
because it's a game, right? Like you have to be able to. You cannot go into this like you have to be able to differentiate in your mind between, and especially because I'm a really personable person. I know that I get attached to people. I know that like I love people. So I knew that I would become friends with people, but also in my mind, I'm like, when I'm in the turret, I'm a traitor and there is no friendship. It's just a game. It's not like I'm really killing people.
Yes, yeah.
Was it quite difficult to lie to people that you bond with? Because I know that I form attachments to people quite quickly, and I'm very personable, like yourself. So when you were lying to people, did it feel really like, oh God?
Well, to be honest, I didn't really think about that, because I wasn't thinking about, oh, what am I going to lie about? Do you know what I mean? So my thing was, and I guess I say I didn't go in with the plan, but maybe I kind of did. My plan was just to kind of be myself, because in real life, I am that person who would go around talking to everybody, being everybody's friend. And that's exactly what I did in the castle. So I didn't blatantly lie about something. Do you see what I mean? But also that whole point, I don't know if you remember, I can't remember what episode it was. Maybe it was like episode 2 or 3, when Sonia at the breakfast table called me out, and she's just joking because she's going around saying to everybody, are you a traitor? Are you a traitor? And she comes up to me, says that to me, and I'm like,
yes,
what?
yeah.
What?
Yeah, because I suppose it's kind of like, why are you coming at me? Like, no, I haven't given off any sin.
You better not be a traitor, Sonia.
because there was a bit where I can't remember if it was Harry and Paul who voted for you at the round table, and then you went back to the turret.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if anything like that's ever happened on the show, like where you go back and talk to them. Was that
I
really
think
awkward?
it has. You know what? I think I was upset and I was quite mad.
Yeah.
And in my mind, and there's like so many things going through your mind, and I'm in my mind, I'm thinking, well, how did this happen? They clearly must be chatting to each other somehow.
Yeah.
Somewhere, like in the castle. Like, do you know what I mean? How else would they, like, they both just automatically randomly vote for me? And because,
Yeah.
you know, in my mind, I just thought we were going to play as a team.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Did you,
Do you know
did
what?
That was,
I'm sorry. I think it did happen in the celebrity one. The last celebrity traitors. I think it happened then, and that was the only other time. But
Maybe.
obviously they've not spoke to each other. But then you're right. Maybe we would have seen that, wouldn't we? Out of all the filming that you do.
who was it on Celebrity Traitors that happened to?
Was it Jonathan Ross?
Yeah,
Possibly.
they had
Somebody
to.
voted for him.
They had
Was
to
it?
put it forward to him, like Alan Carr, wasn't it?
I think Alan voted for him, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
to throw him off the scent.
Was that kind of like a turning point for you? Like, okay, well, we aren't friends in this. Like, I've got to be ruthless.
Yeah, because you know what? Because in that turret, and all these things are going through your mind, and you know, you have to understand, like, I think one of the hardest things, and this depends on people, right? It depends on what kind of person you are. I learnt that when I'm around a table and there's 20 people, like, coming at me, I don't like that. I'm not very good with that kind of confrontation, you know. That's a different type of confrontation to me telling some bloke to fuck off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and like,
Completely different.
do you know, like, so you don't expect. So I think that kind of yeah, like it kind of maybe did trigger a little something in me, but you know, and then there's all these things going through your mind, and then also at the time, and I didn't quite realize it, but I was going through the beginnings of perimenopause, so I was like extra tired, I was like foggy head, I was just like, I just couldn't think. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, at the time I didn't understand that that's what it was, and I was just like, I couldn't remember stuff, and it couldn't. Do you know what I mean?
So much going through.
It was just madness. And then when you go back to the turret, I was just thinking, in my mind, it was Paul. I was like, I bet he's up to this. It's him who's done this. And I'm like thinking, no matter where he's going, I'm going. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't even get a chance to plan anything, because then Claudia comes in and tells us that we're going into the bloody dungeon.
Yeah.
I'm like, you joking me?
Yeah. Was that quite bizarre to be like, because you're doing the same thing every day, kind of doing your challenge, going to the round table, to then go into the dungeon? Did it feel weird having that contrast?
It was weird because we were there the whole day. You know, that what you're seeing was real. Like, we were there the whole time.
Yeah.
So a part of me wishes that I hadn't have done that, but I understood why I did it at the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely. I think, and also that your series was obviously quite early on, because it was the series 2. So nobody had really watched, I suppose people who were playing the game had only watched the first series. So you couldn't base your decisions off anyone else. So putting yourself up for that, like they do it kind of every year, where the traitors have an opportunity to put themselves up for murder or whatever. You wouldn't have known it wouldn't be the best decision.
No, I wouldn't have. I really didn't, because all in my mind at that time I could think of, and we didn't have long to make the decision, you know, like you watched it. Claudia comes in, she's like, this is what's happening. I'll be back in a bit and you're going to need to tell me who's going in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's how it was. And
yes, Claudia.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know, when she knocks on the door, I'm like, no, what are you doing here? Like, can you go away?
But you left.
I haven't had enough time.
Yeah.
So and you know, all I could think of at that time was like, it's this Paul. He's the one who's instigating this.
Yeah.
And then he suggested he goes into the dungeon, and I'm thinking, but if he goes in there and he's got 3 faithfuls with him, he's gonna like talk his way out of that. I'm like, I can't let him do that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, if we'd had time to think it out a little bit, I don't think I would have gone in. I would have just let Paul go in because he'd already said he was going in, you know? So
yeah, definitely.
Okay. Do you think, looking back now, like how long it was and all the rest of it, how long your days were, especially with your own, you know, personal, like perimenopause and all that sort of thing going on, do you think back now and think, how did I cope with those days?
Yeah.
Because like, what was the biggest struggle?
I think it was, honestly, I think it was like the tiredness and the brain fog, really, because I'm normally quite an upbeat, vibrant person, and I can feel myself flagging sometimes, and I'm like, what's going on? And then when you're back at your lodgings, you know, you're supposed to sleep, but you've just got all this stuff going through your mind, and you just, you know, so it was lack of sleep as well, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Enjoy
the game
it.
Requires a lot of thinking, doesn't it? Yeah.
Sorry?
The game requires a lot of thinking, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is it, you know.
Mental drain.
Yeah, and it really just depends of how calculating you want to be. So in theory, I guess I should have been a little bit more calculating, you know?
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot more popular now. I can see where that comes in. I mean, I never even watched it before Ray told me to. Like, it's just not it's just not something I would have, to be honest. I don't watch a lot of telly as it is. You know, I've got Gavin and Stacey on repeat, but here we go. I like my own comfort thing, but now I've watched it, I am hooked. I love the Traitors. Like, it's something that I could rewatch because I think to myself, I'd love to go on the telly and do that. Like,
yeah.
I just think it looks so exciting, and all the people you meet.
It's a lot harder than you think it is. That's the thing. It's a lot harder. You have to be very mentally prepared to, and just those round tables. You know, you have to be able to handle people coming at you. You know, and you know, it's easy to sit here and say don't take it personally, but sometimes, you know, when you're in that situation, you kind of do, like, you know, just like, why are you coming at me for?
Yeah.
Back off.
Yeah.
It's one of those shows, though, Jess. I have so many people who come up to me and say they don't normally watch TV at all, and now they will watch Traitors, because I think it's so different to anything else that's out there.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's so, you know, if you think about everybody who's on there, it's just, we're just normal people, you know. It's not somebody who's trying to be Love Island or, like, do you know what I mean? It's not contrived. People aren't contrived in any way. It's just, it could be your neighbour. It could be your local shopkeeper. It could be, do you know what I mean?
That is what I love. I feel like it's just normal people who, you know, it's just normal people every day. And I love things like that. I love sitcoms like that. So it's, since Ray introduced me to it, I'm so glad that he did, because it's definitely... Yeah, I'm all caught up. Oh, yeah. So honestly, I'm just obsessed with, like, the celebrity one that just happened, and I just...
Oh, me too. A lot of people were skeptical, weren't they?
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be big. I just knew
I think it's so brilliant how every single series ends up being a bit different from the last. Because every year you think, well, it's just going to end up the same as it did last time, but it never does. It's a brilliant show.
I think that depends on who they have on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you could have a wild card come on and just throw the whole thing out.
But that's the thing about Traitors, isn't it? That's my whole point about it's just your normal average person, and when you put a normal average person in a stressful situation like that, you don't know how people are going to react, and that's kind of the beauty of it. It's almost a little bit like an experiment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just looking at people's attitudes and how they behave, and I mean that's why Werewolf was created originally. I think it was originally a Russian game, because it was about how people make choices, how the uninformed make choices based on how the informed make choices.
Right.
Actually, if you think about that concept and how important it is and how it even plays out to this day in real life, it's actually quite interesting.
Yeah.
So when you're in the process of filming, and everyone's having a long day, is there anything that you would do in the background motivational wise? Is it, if anyone's flagging, could you be like, come on guys?
No, you're not even paying attention to that. But you're not going to, though, I think, because
too busy.
When you're flagging, I'm only flagging, like, to me, like, you can't really, because I can't let people see that I'm tired, because people are going to know that I'm up later than them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was the thing, because on the Celebrity series, Stephen managed to catch Kat because she was sleeping, wasn't she? And he was like, well, you're getting less sleep. So it's all these little things that I think you probably become more aware of when you're really observing everyone's behaviour. One very important question. What does it feel like at the round table? Like, particularly when Claudia is choosing the traitor, what's the atmosphere like?
Ooh, it's really weird because it's so quiet. You could hear a pin drop. And because it's so quiet, I don't know if you've heard those boots that Claudia wears. All you can hear are her boots.
Yeah.
And she deliberately stops in lots of different places, so you never know when she's picking somebody. And it just feels like forever, because that blindfold that you're wearing, it really is a blackout blindfold. You can't even see a tiny bit of light, nothing. So when you take that blindfold off, you just feel really, really disorientated,
Yeah.
So imagine having one of your senses completely taken away from you for who knows how long? Was it a minute? Was it 2 minutes? Was it 5 minutes? Who knows? You just don't know.
God.
Absolutely.
If it comes
would you
to
ever
it,
do?
Oh, go on, Brandon.
I think we're going to ask the same question.
Oh, yeah, we were. Go on.
No, you go.
Because I want to know.
Yeah, I do.
If there was a Traitors All-Star, would you be willing to do it?
You know what? At first, I would say for about a year and a half, I said, no way. That was really stressful. But I think I'm in a better place now, and I would. Because I wouldn't let those things, get to me. And I think, sometimes you know who you are. You think you go through life a certain way, right? And then I realized, and I've never experienced this before, I think maybe I even suffered from a little bit of lack of confidence to a certain degree. And I was just like, what is this? That I've never experienced this before. So, I think I'd be I wouldn't be a different person because I'd still be me, but I would definitely go in completely differently. So, and I feel like I need to redeem myself. I need to go in there.
Yeah.
I need to redeem myself. Yeah.
A woman on a mission.
Yeah, and if you think about it, I was also the only woman in our entire series. And that's so disappointing. So I feel like I would need to go back in there.
She would redeem herself, okay?
Yes, absolutely. Do you think, knowing how kind of the production of a TV show works, has that changed how you watch either The Traitors or just any other TV show?
Yes and no. And I think that goes with everything. It's like when you're recording a podcast, right? And now when you listen to podcasts, you're like, oh, okay. You kind of know little things, don't you? But I think it's really important too, when I'm watching TV, whether it's a movie or a series or reality TV, I like to do this thing, and I've always done this thing because I don't want to spoil things for myself. So I don't like to get too ahead. So I like to start watching something with a completely blank slate and as if I don't know what's coming at me or what to expect, because then that's the only way that I can really enjoy it, you know?
Yeah.
Knowing the ins and outs of how things are filmed from a Come Dine With Me perspective, of the long days, like starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, not finishing till midnight.
So what has reflectively been your best thing or the best thing to come from the show, and how has your life kind of changed from it?
I think the people. The people make everything right. So if you think about all the friends that I've made, all these people that I've met, and just the experiences that I have, like, you know, so I'm really, really good friends with Faye, who was on season 1.
Yes.
And me and Faye, I used to chat to her before my season had come out. She had no idea. She had and she had already started following me, because I used to post food and stuff all the time. And because I randomly chat to everybody, right?
Yeah.
And so and then when our season came out, she was like, "Oh my God, it's you! What?" And the same thing with Wilf. I used to just chat to Wilf, and it was the same thing with him. So it's funny. But so me and Faye became really, really good friends. And one of the first amazing experiences that I ever had was down to Faye. She took me to the movie premiere of One Love. So that was the movie about Bob Marley. The lead was Kingsley Benadire, who actually, funnily enough, I think lives in my neighborhood.
Really?
But, yeah, it's mad, because I'm like, I knew I'd seen him around many times. But I actually, so we're on the red carpet. And so that experience of being on the red carpet and all the photographers actually just knowing who you are, and I'm like, what is going on? You know, we've got the Marley family right behind me. We've got like these other massive stars. But I think the biggest thing was we got to meet Idris Elba and his wife. Yeah, I know. And
my
Faye
God.
will just talk to anybody. I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Because anybody who knows me knows how much I love Idris Elba.
What a guy.
What a guy.
I just think he's brilliant. I just really think he's underrated as an actor. And I just think, I love him. I've loved him from the Wire days. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
so like life has changed in the way, like, other doors that have possibly opened and opportunities, and just the things that we get to do, the fun things. And I'm really, really lucky that I have a really, really supportive work family. You know, like my manager is amazing. Our team manager, he's brilliant. Like, you know, if I didn't have their support, I wouldn't be able to now pursue my dreams, things that I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know? Things that it didn't even cross my mind, actually, when applying for Traitors, because I wasn't even thinking about that, you know. But I always wanted to be an actor. So I trained when I was younger, because I lived in New York City for about 5 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in my 20s. That was quite a long time ago.
Stop it, you look the same age as me.
It was quite a long time ago, let me tell you. And then when I came back to England, I did a little bit of training here and there, and then I just never pursued it, because I thought, I've got to pay rent. I don't have, like, I just don't, how am I going to pursue this career? And then I guess Traitors really kind of made me realise that and opened that door for me. So, yeah.
Life's too short.
I mean, what a life you've led.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's been so lovely getting
before
to
Traitors, let me tell you. I've been around that block.
Thank you so much for joining us today and getting us... that didn't make any sense. English, please. And for letting us get to know you and letting us find out a bit about the Traitors. Before we finish, is there anything that you'd like to plug, talk about socials, anything?
Well, yeah, because, you know, we were talking about podcasts, and you're like, why don't you start a podcast? Well, actually, I just recently did with my couple of my Traitors co-stars. So Leon from season 3 and Anthony from my season. We've only just recently started it. We're only like maybe 3 episodes in. Yeah, and it's called Let That Sink In, because if you remember from season 2, Anthony's famous speech, Let That Sink In.
Yeah.
So, we're all, the 3 of us are, let's say, Leon's the youngest, but we're all well into our 40s, and Londoners, and we've lived a certain life, and we have good bants, and that's really just what it's about. We discuss everything. It's no holds barred. Yeah.
What it's all about.
Fabulous, yeah.
Definitely some episodes are 18 plus. And I just wanted to say, honestly, it's been so brilliant talking to both of you. You're amazing, and I hope this podcast just grows from strength to strength, and it's been really, really lovely being on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have been an absolute pleasure to talk to. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us, Ash. We've had a fantastic chat, such a laugh. And if you're new here, thank you for watching. You can follow and subscribe, watch us on YouTube and Spotify, and we'll see you next week, because you just never know who we're going to have on next.
You never know.
Bye.
Bye.